Welcome back to Viewpoint. One more quick question for my guests. April is Confederate History Month. How do you plan on celebrating? Jeff Kreisler?
I'm actually saving myself for Nazi History Month, Saddam Hussein History Month, and other losers when their time.
So for those of us who are not politicians, what's heard on the recording may seem egregious and mean, but for someone who's in that world, isn't just your standard oppo research for any campaign?
Bullying, bribes, and kickbacks? They're on target.
Well, I think so. I mean, in fairness, Jeff, this isn't unusual.
This is not unusual, and that's actually reassuring to me to know that there are still villains in the world. You know, Mitch McConnell fits everything, and frankly, I think it's a great that he might want to bring mental health into the debate, because we can talk about actually Judd in 6th grade or his voting record. Both.
But Leanne, isn't it strange that in a state as red as Kentucky, where on the pro-life issue alone, Mitch McConnell could probably, indeed, well, on the pro-life issue alone, Mitch McConnell could probably clobber her pretty seriously with the conservative voters, that they would go this ferociously into her personal life as a child?
No, no, no. You know what? I think they didn't go far back enough. They should have went back to do your mama jokes. They should have joked about her in utero. They should have insulted her lineage. You know, it felt like I was listening to an episode of the Game of Thrones. Okay. It was perfect.
But is it going too far is my question. Is attacking someone for being depressed as a child crossing any kind of ethical line?
Oh, I think it's totally going too far, because you know the reason he's picking on her is because she's a smart woman, and she does have a chance to win, because Kentucky's 50% women. And so you have all the rednecks with the rhetoric. He's just playing to like the people in the primaries that are going to fund him.
It's actually a very good point. I mean, you have to consider they wouldn't have gone this deep into it if they weren't a bit afraid that she had a legitimate chance.
Right. Well, it shows that they also can't run on the issues. I mean, if you're attacking some obscure personal thing like this, it means you don't have anything else to stand on.
Well, in fairness, in the expanded tape, you do hear them talking about how they would fight her on the issues, but then they get into the personal stuff.
What I don't understand is all the thing is about the tape that they recorded of they're all upset because somebody leaked the tape to Mother Jones. Why isn't Ashley Judd upset that they taped her? Like, who provided that tape?
This is what's happened now. I mean, you look at like the reaction to the WikiLeaks. We're talking about the guy who's in trouble is Manning, the guy who leaked the information, not what he said. These people, the animal rights people, you can't videotape cruelty. You can't be cruel, you can't videotape it.
Well, whistleblowers never win in our culture. We say we want them and then we treat them like dirt. So you should know better.
And this is very interesting too, because Mitch McConnell saying he's contacting the FBI right away. He showed what a great politician he is. Maybe crap as a senator and a leader, but as a politician, the fact that he immediately shifted the discussion from I'm a creepy guy with no soul to let's get the FBI in here because my office may be bugged, and completely got us off the fact that if you listen to the tape, you hear clothes rustling. It was someone on his staff that did it. I mean, does he get credit for being that successful at being evil?
You know what really shocks me? I mean, they spent this whole time talking about how their office was bugged, and I'm like, dude, anybody with an iPhone could have pulled this off. It's not that complicated.
Well,
maybe he doesn't know about the technology.
He doesn't know about the iPhone, the iWeb, the interweb.
Well, it's classic Republicans always playing the victim, right? They always accuse others of playing victim.
Yeah, but it's smart.
And doesn't the FBI have other things to do besides like go after
the FBI is not going to be investigating this. They said they were going to look into it. They're not exactly going to drop everything and go find out.
They really said, how did you get this number?
Well, McConnell and his cohorts, and I found this even more egregious, also questioned Judd's interpretation of Christianity. Take a listen to this.
She is critical, sort of what might be used as traditional Christianity. She sort of views this as sort of a vestige of patriarchy. You can see she says Christianity gives a God like a man, presented and discussed exclusively male imagery, which legitimizes and seals male power. It's an intention to dominate, even if that intention is nowhere visible.
Now, even worse than that, later on in the tape, they begin mocking her, talking about St. Francis, who said, of course, that he was one with nature, and talked about how the animals were his brothers and sisters. And they begin laughing at this, clearly showing they know nothing about the saints of and the new cult of the own religion they claim to represent. Is someone's religion off limits? Because if they're going to go after her for how she interprets Christianity, I want to start going after Mitch McConnell for how he does it.
Right. Well, I was going to say the answer to the question, is it off limits? Have you seen this show? So, I mean, I would love there, I think like you, to be a conversation, to let them come out and defend the old patriarchy. Maybe it wouldn't affect this Senate race in Kentucky because there's enough people still thinking a certain way, but let's have that conversation.
I was a little confused. Were they upset because she got it right? Because I heard that. I'm like,
she
what? I didn't hear
believes
anything
in
wrong
God,
yet.
but apparently, no matter what she says, she's wrong because she says she believes in God.
Well, by interpreting a female attitude towards God, which is how humans used to look at it, that they could hammer her with that. But I agree with you, Jeff. I think that what we really need to do is have a lot more discussion of people's religious beliefs. If you're going to be a guy like Mitch McConnell, who claims to love Jesus that much, but loves the death penalty that much, I want to see the scripture to back up how much you like killing sinners.
There could be someone's religious Todd Aiken moment, if you will, that they could come out and find themselves suddenly defending years of subjugation or whatever it is, and this could be the moment that could lead to it.
When asked about the audio tape today, Senator McConnell several times pointed to an attack last month from a left-wing group that called into question the ethnicity of his wife, who was born in Taiwan and moved to America as an 8-year-old. Is Senator McConnell being hypocritical, criticizing them when he was prepared to attack a mental issue of his opponent as a child?
Well, yeah, the double standard. He's upset because they addressed her ethnicity, and they're addressing Ashley Judd's religion.
Right, but at the same time, his wife's not running for office, and Ashley Judd was considering it. So isn't it fair game, and isn't his wife off limits? Isn't he right about this?
I think there is maybe a line to family being off limits unless someone could influence policy, which is potentially
she was in the Department of Labor.
I'm sorry, Leanne, go ahead.
Yes, she herself is a political figure. Right. Do I think it's fair? No. But I mean, what a lot of people didn't even mention is that when this happened, Ashley Judd herself spoke out and said that this wasn't a correct thing to do.
Yeah. Well, the FBI is looking into it, and is there an argument to be made that the person who recorded this and leaked it is really the one who's being unethical here? I mean, really, isn't Mitch McConnell the victim?
He would like you to believe that. I actually think that's a greater hypocrisy, that suddenly Watergate-era tactics and Patriot Act tactics are bad when he's the victim. It's like Portman, when suddenly his son was gay, and bashing gay people is not good. What's good for the goose, or the goose, what is it, the sauce for the goose? Is you know?
To me, it's kind of like the same logic of saying that abolitionists were wrong for being abolitionists. What they were really doing is stealing property.
Yes, they were hurting profits.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to get to that coming up. And